Hello. So now I will explain a specific technology which will implement this low carbon industrialization that we aim to do. Before introducing the specifics of the technology and the cost, let me just say what it aims to do and what the goals are. So what this technology aims to do is lower overall CO2 emissions while not decreasing overall GDP production, which is crucial for developing countries. And currently, it is actually the only technology which has been proven to be able to do this. And another crucial aspect for developing countries is that it allows time for other energy sources that do not release as much greenhouse gas to be developed while this carbon recapture has already been implemented in pre-existing energy sources. So now let me explain how the technology actually works. So around a facility that produces energy, it's a physical building that traps the carbon, and then what happens with the carbon, you either ship the carbon and you either inject it underground or into the ocean. A possible downside of injecting it into the ocean is that it may acidify the oceans, and so people have looked towards injecting it underground in the earth in geological formations, and what this does is produce mineral carbonates, and it's a much greener alternative than to injecting it in the ocean. But depending on what type of terrain a country is on, or its proximity to water, either one of these alternatives may be considered, and the pros and cons would have to be weighed. So the International Energy Agency estimates that implementing CCS on all existing power producing technologies would reduce global carbon CO2 emissions by almost 19%. And these carbon recapture technologies can be implemented on a wide variety of existing power production technologies, such as the production of ammonia, hydrogen, and it can also assist in natural gas cleanup by reducing the amount of carbon emitted in such procedures. So now let me talk about the affordability, which is a crucial aspect for developing countries. So the key statistic here, which was found in a study by the GEF, Global Environment Facility, is that application of CCS would add 1.8 to 3.4 US cents per kilowatt hours. And to put this in perspective, currently the cost of production of nuclear energy is 2.5 US cents per kilowatt hours, fossil steam 3.5, and hydroelectric around 1. And the cost of transportation and geological storage of the released carbon is between 0.5, 0.6, and 1 US cent per kilowatt hours. So it is a substantial increase percentage-wise, almost doubling the cost of the overall procedure of producing the energy. And furthermore, this same GEF Council found that it's cheaper overall to add carbon recapture technology to pre-existing power plant facilities. It's more expensive to add to pre-existing power plant facilities than to build a power plant facility from the ground up with this existing technology. So to conclude, the carbon recapture technology is a viable technology that can implement low carbon industrialization, and especially in developing countries, because as I said, it's cheaper to build it from the ground up than to already add it to pre-existing energy technology. And the downside is right now it's relatively expensive, will almost double the cost, and so there's not much incentive for these developing nations to add this extra amount of technology to their energy production. But hopefully, either through incentive or improvements of technology, this cost will go down, or there will be ways to incentivize these countries to add this technology, which will have a substantial impact on overall carbon emissions.